Modern Warfare 3, or at least what we've heard is going to be Modern Warfare 3, has had little to no real information on it, which, pushing into July, for most of COD history, that'd be kind of unheard of. Activision seems to be pushing this game's reveal later down the line like we saw with Cold War and Vanguard in years past, but with the scene looking for what's next for a while now, it's surprising that we've seen such little amount in regards to not only just official information, but even leaks. However, recently some new images ended up leaking out that point towards Modern Warfare 3 confirming one of the big rumors we've heard about the game since nearly the inception of the idea that 2023 would not be a sort of off year per se, and today we're diving into that. So as we go along, drop your thoughts down below. Are you looking forward to what 2023 may have on offer and what Modern Warfare 3 may bring? Do you feel burned by this year that maybe you're not too into it? Or if you've seen the images in question, what do you think of them? Whatever the case, let me know down below. But if you enjoyed the video, you find it at all insightful, do me a favor and drop a like on it. And if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing for more Modern Warfare 3 content, X-Defiant content, and more FPS related projects. I'd love to have you in the community. And finally, check out my friends over at G Fuel for 30% off certain items like tubs of hype sauce or starter kits in the month of June, but more on them in a bit. For now, let's jump into it. So today's reports come from leaker COD Perseus, someone we've discussed here on the channel a little bit in the past. Track record holds up to at least hear it out, but the leaks were from an apparent Zoom call that would appear to be an internal presentation at Activision, Sledgehammer, whomever, but showing off screenshots or perhaps what were snapshots of fly-through videos of some of the maps coming within Modern Warfare 3 upcoming. Now, those images included the maps of Terminal and Scrapyard. Two, of course, remakes or potentially remasters from Modern Warfare 2 2009, and what we've seen introduced into the franchise a couple of times over since then, but these, instead of being thematic reskins like we saw with, say, Ghost and the Scrapyard variation we saw back in the day there, instead, these look to be straight-up remakes or remasters, utilizing the same assets, the same locations, and everything like that. Now, the feel of these, we can get a little bit of. The images themselves were pretty low quality. I'll leave the link down there in the description below if there is something that is still up that I can find by the time this video is published, that you guys can check it out for yourself, but unfortunately I can't put these on screen because, well, as we'll touch on in a second, they were DMCA'd, meaning they were taken down via copyright strike and they're not safe to put in a video. But that said, these maps look much more vibrant compared to past Modern Warfare maps we've seen in the recent past. Like Terminal actually has a bit of life to it, Scrapyard does, but to as much a degree that a junkyard setting can have some life to it as well. Now the setting for these, for those curious, of course, yes, they follow the setting of what we've seen in the past with 2009 maps, but Terminal does not look to be from the Al Mazrah portion, but instead a truer remake or perhaps remaster, touched up graphically with a bit more color, which I'm very happy about because if I'm honest with you, I kind of think the Al Mazrah version was a bit too bland by comparison to the originals that we'd seen. That's just me personally. I like the look of the Terminal that we see out of these leaks rather than what we have in Al Malik International, just taken straight out of Al Mazrah. That's just me. Scrapyard, the big question that I had seen posed a few times was, will this be coming from Verdansk? Because that's a valid question. It was a POI, and if it was there again, for the Warzone fans, there'd maybe be a slim chance that we could see Verdansk again if it was something that was pulled from that setting. But unfortunately, there's one shot that does showcase like out of bounds of Scrapyard, not just focusing on the parts of the map itself, but you can see out of bounds of play, and well, it's not the same exact geography. Instead of the hillside to the west behind the mid-map building, it's a hangar with shipping crates. And to the north behind the two-story spawn building, it's more shipping crates instead of what would be more hangars in the clearing before promenade. So unfortunately, it seems like this is not connected to the Verdansk version of Scrapyard, but instead is more of a standalone remake or remaster here of what we'll see. So, okay, why is this relevant then? Why are we talking about potentially two remastered maps here coming from Modern Warfare 3? Well, if you remember, the current rumor for Modern Warfare 3 actually kind of makes it seem like it's a partial remaster, partial extension to Modern Warfare 2, like a Modern Warfare 2.5, but with creative liberties going to Sledgehammer, where apparently we're going to end up getting a brand new campaign. In terms of multiplayer content, it's going to be a lot of a mismatch of new and existing stuff that we've already seen here in regards to the era of Modern Warfare. Like, the rumor that was the big part here leading into all of this was that we'd see all Modern Warfare 2 2009 maps remade or remastered to come up into Modern Warfare air quote 3, which this, if true, kind of confirms we're on that path so far. Yeah, we only know about 2 of them, not the entire catalog of maps, but if that's the first thing we learn about the game, it kind of looks like we're pushing towards that, does it not? But also on top of that, it was rumored that we'll see all weapons, modes, some maybe all maps transferring over from Modern Warfare 2 into this upcoming Modern Warfare 3 game. So what we have this past year kind of bolstering out a day one offering perhaps of a Modern Warfare 3, where instead of one game launching, it's one game plus the existing content of another. So like what we have with Warzone after integrations, but on a mainline premium title at this point. So that was the current rumor, and it seems like this new leak backs that up pretty nicely. Now, an update to the situation, since admittedly we are a few days late to talk about this, was that since this initially happened, those images have been DMCA'd, as we mentioned earlier in the video. So that means that it was taken down officially by Activision. So do we have another case of like the Streisand effect here, where Activision actively removed something in hopes that it wouldn't be seen and it would go under the radar, but instead, by making that public notification of like, hey, we own this and we're taking it down, it amplifies that even louder to where it gains more traction. To DMCA remove something means that you have to be the copyright owner in the case of Activision to take these images down. And with these images not being something we see in existing content for any other game, any remaster previously, any side project or something like that, well, that's the big part, because we haven't seen that yet, meaning that these very well could be legitimate leaks here for upcoming remakes, remasters for what we see in Modern Warfare 3. So definitely interesting, the whole situation on how this went down. And again, I think by removing it, they're just actively bringing more attention to it. Now, that said, as it stands, that is interesting to learn about, I think, here. But in terms of when we can see more information next, well, that's where it's still all up in the air, because currently nothing is guaranteed in regards to a reveal timetable. Activision seems to be moving away again from those early reveals that we had seen for the majority of Call of Duty titles. I mean, for most Call of Duty titles in history, we'd see things revealed in April, May, June, in that 3-month window. Instead, we're pushing into July and we haven't even heard who the developer on the game is. So it very much so seems like we're going to see something like a last second just drop of everything, where we might have a reveal, a multiplayer reveal, a beta, and then launch of the game all within this small window of time, like again we saw with Cold War and Vanguard. Now, while we don't have anything set in stone officially, currently there are tentative timetables previously provided by leaker Tom Henderson, where the reveal window for Modern Warfare 3 looks to be around August 1st, which would be right in line with the Season 5 launch date, though not exact, because the launch date is actually the 2nd. So that could be something that early August, maybe mid-August is when we see that reveal of the game, title, reveal trailer, all that kind of stuff, some confirmation of the project and what will be on offer. But then he also provided information on beta weekend 1, 2, a campaign early access period, and the full release, as well as season 1 launch dates tentatively, with beta weekend 1 being October 6th to the 10th, beta weekend 2 being October 12th to the 16th, campaign early access being November 2nd for a week to 8 days earlier, depending on time zones and how rollout work out, a full release of November 10th, and then a season 1 launch date, as well as a new Warzone map on December 5th. So a lot of stuff here upcoming, but again, a much later timetable in regards to reveals and releases for everything. So right now, while we do have this new information floating around, it's not confirmed for one, and two, we're still quite a bit of a ways off for seeing this officially confirmed. But that's where we're at. Wanted to fill you guys in here on the information. Before we wrap everything up, make sure you check out my friends over at G Fuel for 20% off all items all the time with code Espresso, but 30% off for the month of June on tubs of hype sauce, hibiscus tea, MS melon, and more, as well as starter kits. So if you haven't tried G Fuel before, now's as great a time as any, since starter kits are discounted as well. Can't go wrong with that. Hype sauce is one of my personal favorite tubs. Highly recommend that one. But if you guys are interested in any of that kind of stuff, use code Espresso for 20% off your entire order all the time, and 30% off those listed items linked down in the description below. But that said, that's what we're gonna call it. So let me know your thoughts down below. Do you look forward to these upcoming leaks here that we may see with Modern Warfare 3? Do you like the idea of remasters or a potential like partial remaster game here to fill out 2023? Whatever the case, drop your thoughts. But if you enjoyed the video, you found it at all insightful, do me a favor and drop a like on it. And if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing to stay up to date with all things Modern Warfare 3, X Defiant, and other FPS content here on the channel. I'd love to have you in the community. But for now, thanks so much for watching. My name's been Espresso. I'll see you later. Take care and peace.